Ideally, in a family setting, when a couple gets together, the expectation is that years down the road, they will have children, nurture them, care for them, have them, move out of their own homes after university, but this may not be the case all the time. There's a point where the couple may decide to go their separate ways, unfortunate as it may be. Fortunate or unfortunate, regardless of the circumstances that are happening, it can happen. Custody is the authority held by both parents when it comes to the best welfare of the child. We have two forms of custody. We have the legal custody and the physical custody. Legal custody basically where you make decisions when it comes to the welfare of this child. Physical custody, on the other hand, is, can I put it this way, physical, like who does the child stay with really at the end of the day? Does the child stay with one parent fully? Do you share days during the week? That is what physical custody involves. Automatically, parents have that authority over their children. It's automatic by law. However, there are times when this type of authority may be taken away from the parent, where it's in the best interest of the child, or if putting that child in a particular setting, for instance, a parent having authority over that child would cause a greater harm as opposed to a greater good. And remember, at the end of the day, it's in the best interest of that child, where they stay, whatever decisions that you make when it comes to them. Ideally, just like in all family situations or decisions that have to be made, it's agreement is always the most recommended. Same thing with custody, where the couple comes together and agrees on maybe physical custody of the child and also whatever decisions that have to do with the child. It comes easier if you both sit down as a couple and make this decision. Now, the child benefits even better if this decision is made, in unison between you, the father and the mother. Now, if this is not the case and both parties do not agree at all, both parents don't agree at all on either the physical custody or whatever decision that has to be made regarding the child, court can be brought in to find an amicable decision that both parties will have to deal with. The best way of dealing with custody after you've had a separation is that both parties need to look at the best interests of the child. Like we mentioned before, agreement. Agree on what is the best, way forward for this child. And this involves not only financial involvement, it can also mean nurturing of the children, who will be available on those nights when the child needs help with homework, who will be able to take that child on those play date runs. Basically, the involvement, the parent who is most involved should be the person who should have the physical custody. But we're not saying that the other party or the other parent should not have part custody of this child. You can agree on basically how to share the custody of these children, but keeping the best interests of the child in mind.